Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gundam News. And the headlines this week all have two things in common. They are potentially very exciting, but there's not a lot of details as of yet. First up, we have a new anime called Gundam Seed Freedom Zero, which will act as a prequel to the Gundam Seed Freedom movie. And to be honest, I'm not really surprised by the fact that we're getting one, because the flashbacks in the movie made it very clear that there was still a lot of untold story to be covered. So it was really more a matter of when we were going to get it, especially combined with the enormous success of the movie. But like I said before, we don't have any actual details yet, other than that it's going to be an animated prequel to Gundam Seed Freedom. But this could mean that it could be a TV anime, another movie, an OVA, or maybe even one of those ONA things. Let's hope it's not that. What we do know is what it was meant to be all those years ago. And this did kind of surprise me, because the storyboards used for the script for Zero actually predate the ones used for Freedom, and back then it was supposed to become an OVA. Personally, what I hope they're going to do is make it into a full TV series that then eventually catches up with Gundam Seed Freedom and retells those events with much better pacing, because the movie simply didn't feel like it had the time to tell everything that it wanted to tell, and a longer anime version would definitely benefit the pacing of Freedom. And talking about movies that are too short, the second new Gundam anime is a new short that will be shown on the wall next to the life-sized new Gundam starting November the 24th. The name of the anime is ALC Encounter, and it takes place at the actual life-size new Gundam, so it's set in our world. The mall is just about to close when our two main characters have a fated meeting because of the voice of a certain woman, who is almost certain to be Lala soon, because one of the listed voice actors is Saori Hayami, who voiced her in Gundam The Origin. And the other listed voice actors are Shuichi Ikeda, who is Char's voice actor, and Furuya, who still got a role as Amuro Ray. And so, as our two main characters meet, a fight breaks out between the 1/12 scale new Gundam and the 1/12 scale Sazabi that are on display there. And this fight is then set to the song Hot, which is performed by Ilio Mote. Also, they don't specify who the two main characters are that have that fated meaning, because in the preview images, we kind of see two sets of characters. We get Amuro and someone who looks a lot like a Char, and then we get the two completely new characters who appear on the promotional poster for the movie. I'm guessing these are the two characters that are meeting each other and then switch to being the singers when the battle between the new and the Sazabi breaks out. And from November 24th until an as of yet unspecified time, you can watch it every day at either 7 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. And alongside it, we also have yet another event. Also starting on November the 24th, but ending on February 16th, the life-size new Gundam will be lit up in the Gundam's iconic tricolor color scheme, which will last every day from 7 to 9 p.m. And on top of that, it also gets a kind of Christmas tree to celebrate 45 years of Gundam. And at the opening ceremony of this event, the voice actors for Domon, Hiro, and Garrett will also be making an appearance. And finally then, for the upcoming Gundam shows, we got some more news about the live action movie. And first of all, to clarify for the people who were a bit confused, the as of yet unnamed live action movie is completely unrelated to Requiem for Vengeance, because I saw some people who thought that Requiem for Vengeance was like the replacement for the live action movie or somehow was the live-action movie. But anyways, the live-action movie was going to be directed by Jordan Vogt-Roberts and published through Netflix. The emphasis being on was, because this week it came out that the movie will no longer be published through Netflix, and Jordan Vogt-Roberts has been replaced by Jim Mickle, famous from the recently very successful Sweet Tooth series. Most people seem to be quite happy with this change, but I just kind of went like, we don't get any news for 3 years, and then the news we get is that they're seemingly changing quite a lot of things. That's a bit worrying. Also, while no official reason has been given for the change, a lot of people are speculating that it has something to do with the reception of Requiem for Vengeance, which has been met with some mixed reviews, especially that ending. But I'm not entirely convinced that this is the main reason. To me, it sounds like they were having some other issues, and now was just a convenient time to make that announcement because, the scapegoat is right there. I blame the Federation and their use of child soldiers. Anyways, the movie is supposedly going to start production in early 2025. On to the Gunpla then, where we also got something to look forward to. Because on the 13th, Bandai will be holding their next hobby new item info thingy, where they will be announcing all of the model kits for April, May, and June. And this time around, I'm really curious to see what we're going to be getting, because all of the main stuff for Gundam Seed Freedom and Requiem for Vengeance, being the latest Gundam products, Gundam shows, has already either been released or has been announced to be releasing. So I really wonder what high grades we're going to be getting this time around. I've been hoping for new Cosmic Era grunts for years, and of course I'm never going to say no to a more obscure high-grade Universal Sentry. Or maybe we're going to be getting new versions for the Duel, the Buster, the Blitz, and the Aegis, because for the Duel and the Blitz, the Duel and the Buster, the materials are right there. And I also know a lot of people are really looking forward to a high grade of the Requiem for Vengeance Goof Custom and Assault Gun Tank. And I also wonder if we're going to see another Best Mecha Collection model kit, because I think the first one did really well. If I had to put my money on something then, it would definitely be the high-grade Duel, Buster, and Goof Custom. And talking about Requiem for Vengeance Gunpla, last week I talked about how some of their sets were potentially some of the worst Gunpla deals I've seen ever. In part because the official sources available at the time were very wishy-washy with what was actually included in them. They didn't specifically say if they were going to be 2 complete model kits, as in you can build both of them at the same time, or if you were going to have to choose. But now on the American Premium Bandai website, they say that the Zaku 2 F-Type Lashon and Zaku 2 Unidentified Type Lashon will be a 2-model set, and that the Zaku 2 F-Type Chops and Kale plus Zaku 2 Unidentified Type Solari Custom Part Set will also be a set of 2 models, plus the parts needed to turn Solari's Zaku 2 F-Type into the Zaku 2 Unidentified Type Solari Custom. What is still kinda up in the air then though, is how many weapons they're actually going to come with, because despite being 2 or 2.5 Zakus, depending on the set, all of the weapons are listed in singular. Zaku Machine Gun, Zaku Bazooka, Long Rifle, Heat Hawk, and Missile Pod. Now I'm just annoyed that they can't specify what is actually included with these premium sets on Premium Bandai. But moving on to the Gunpla releases for this month. And November is going to be very back heavy because we have a large amount of releases all towards the end of the month. On the 23rd, the big release is the high-grade Destiny Gundam Spec 2 with the Zeus silhouette going for 7,920 Yen, 51 US. For the Destiny Spec 2, if you've built the normal one or the Heine Custom, you know exactly what to expect. It is the same kit with the exact same accessories, but now with a different color scheme. The big thing of this set then, quite literally this time around, is of course the Zeus silhouette. A giant mobile armor that can either be displayed by itself, thanks to the included action base, it can be attached to the Destiny Gundam as intended, or you can attach it to the real great Shiranui Akatsuki Gundam, thanks to the parts included with the Shiranui. So we're getting quite some options on what to do with this thing. And the other kits that day also give you a lot of options. For 3,520 yen, 23 US, there is the BB Senshi ZGMF Zaku set, which comes with the Gunner Zaku Warrior Luna Maria custom, Blaze Zaku Phantom Ray custom, Standard Blaze Zaku Warrior, and Blaze Zaku Phantom Heine custom. And you can of course change your backpacks as you see fit. And then for 880 and 6 US, there is the option part set Gunpla 13 Gunpla Battle Arm Arms, which is a weapon, accessory, and joint set disguised as a very funky looking aircraft, spacecraft thing. On the 30th then, the most impressive kit was the Master Grade Super Deformed Wing Gundam Zero Endless Waltz Custom, which goes for 4,950 yen, 32 US. It might be SD, but it comes with a real Master Grade price tag and features that in some cases go well beyond standard Master Grade kits. Just look at those giant detailed eyes, that fancy inner frame, or the reflection cut pieces. And to add to that, we've got some solid articulation and even Neo Bird mode. Quite a kit for Gundam Wing fans who are also into SDs. And then last and weirdest, we've got the high-grade Bolinoak Saman for 3,520 yen, 23 US. A bulky, unique machine that was the final main character mobile suit of Zeta Gundam that still needed to be turned into a model kit. And I think this was definitely because of how it looked. They didn't even bother giving this thing a kit back in the day. But as soon as I wrote that line into my script, I remembered that the only model kit in the 80s of the Cubile was the standard Cubile in 1/220 scale. So what they decided to turn into a model kit back then was kind of funky, because I think people nowadays would consider the Cubile to be an extremely popular mobile suit. But anyways, having to wait so long for a Gunpla is definitely a blessing in disguise, because despite its bulk, it has some killer articulation, an active and inactive head sensor, opening missile launchers, a grappling shield, 2 beam sabers with beam saber blade effect parts, and 2 beam axes that also come with beam effect parts. And Bandai also announced that on the 9th, you'll be able to get this Gundam-based limited Gundam Exia clear color version for 4,180 yen, 27 US. And well, that's all I can really say about this thing. It is a clear version of the Master Grade Exia. What I can tell you more about though is that the new Bandai Plamo factory is slated to begin operating next summer. And their goal is to increase Gunpla production by 35% by the fiscal year of 2026, which is also when they hope to have the factory fully operational. And this 35% increase is when compared to the fiscal year of 2023. So I really hope that this is going to be enough to satiate the demand for Gunpla, because I don't think I have to explain to you all how annoying it has been to get certain Gunpla. Also, they plan to finish the building itself by January, which is when they'll start giving tours to people to teach them more about the Gunpla production process. Moving on to the figures then, where Cagalli fans are going to be very happy. Because in March of 2025, the Gacha Portraits, Lacus, and Cagalli set will be releasing for 5,500 yen, 36 US, and it features both of them in their piloting suits. These gacha figures are relatively small. Here is my Marin figure of the same scale, the same line, but I do like their quality and their detailing. The only real downside is that they're premium Bandai Limited. Because of course. Meanwhile, on the gaming front, in Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation, the Gundam Mark V MP equipment has joined the fray. On Gundam Battle Operation 2 for Steam, the Fafnir has become available. In the Gundam Extreme vs. 2 Overboost arcade game, the Throne Zwei has entered the battlefield. In UC Engage, we got the UR Pesce Montagne and UR Engage 0 Yon Faving as unit assemblies, as well as an encirclement breakthrough battle and the latest content for the Amuro and Char mode, being Char's Rebellion. And then in Gundam Breaker 4, the third round of DLCs has gone live. And again, it consists of a story mission pack and a diorama pack. The diorama pack simply consists of the classroom set, a bunch of horrors, and a bunch of posters, but in the story mission pack, we are getting both a new story mission and some extra mobile suits. There's Hyper Yanko, Double Zeta Gundam version Katoki, Enhanced Double Zeta Gundam version Katoki, Mobile Doll Sarah Real version, Night Strike Gundam, and Gundam Vidar. And we also got a new screenshot for the upcoming Requiem for Vengeance game mode that will be available in the Unreal editor for Fortnite. And in other news then, people who watch the special edition of Gundam Seed Freedom in Japanese cinemas this week will get this mini Shikiji. A special video has been released for Silver Phantom's theme song and is linked down below. And Witch from Mercury will be appearing at the MBS Anime Fest 2025, which is held on January the 18th and the 19th. Various goods of the characters will be on sale, like badges, stickers, masking tape, hand towels, etc., all of which will feature Suletta, Mirine, Guel, Shadiq, and 2 flavors of Elan in a cute chibi style. And on the second day, Yama will be present at the event to sing the second opening. As for the things you could get this week then, on the 5th, you could get these Gundam Seed Freedom and Witch from Mercury mini book items from Japanese 7-Eleven stores. And they're called mini book because they quite literally come with a small booklet featuring an interview about a relevant Gunpla kit. So for 3,179 yen, 21 US, you can get a stainless steel tumbler with either Kira and the Mighty Strike Freedom, Atheron and the Infinite Justice Type 2, or Suletta and Mirine with the Ariel. Or for 2,750 yen, 18 US, you can get a multi-purpose pouch styled after either Gundam Seed Freedom or the Witch from Mercury. And the fabric on the inside of the pouch has a pattern that is based on Gunpla of the respective series. As for this week's reading material then, we first had some interesting books about Yoshiyuki Tomino getting a restock. Originally released in 2000, there's Gundam no Gemba Kara, which you could loosely translate as Gundam in the field, or more literally as Gundam from the site of creation. And this book contains a lot of materials pertaining to the creation of the first Gundam. Things like early versions of the script, notes on the TV version and the movie version, and even a Q&A section with the man himself. And originally published in 2002, there's Video Principles Second Revised Edition, where Tomino will be telling you all of his secrets to creating not just a good anime, but just a good video work in general. And this second revised edition has been updated to keep up with modern times. So now you too can create something like Riken Gista in G. Or you can read the 5th chapter of G Gundam Guidance 2nd volume, which has been released for free online and is linked down below. On to this week's apparel news then, where Strict G kicked things off on the 1st with some baseball caps and jackets. For 4,400 yen, 29 US, you can get a baseball cap in Earth Federation Space vs. Navy, Zeon vs. Khaki, Red Comet Black, Omro Navy, or Vis Foundation Beige. For 45,100 yen, 293 US, you can get a Selenium Mercury inspired Alpha MA1 jacket, which features the holder symbol on the back. Or for 46,200 yen, 300 US, you can get a Mirine inspired MA1 Natus jacket, which has a removable cap and the standard Aztecasia logo. And all of these items were available at the physical Strict G store starting the 2nd. And on the 5th, you could pre-order some more jackets courtesy of the Strict G Arms lineup. For 29,150 yen, 189 US, there's a level 7 jacket styled after the Xeon Forces, and for 27,500 yen, 179 US, there's an MA1 jacket in either standard Xeon Grey or Red Comet Black. And on the same day, pre-orders also went live for these really cool ukiyo-e-inspired t-shirts. You can choose between the RX-78-2 on a white t-shirt or Char Zaku 2 on a black t-shirt. And they go for 5,830 yen each, 38 US. And all of these t-shirts and jackets will be available in physical Strict G stores on the 9th. And then just in today, pre-orders went up for 2 more collections. Appearing in physical stores on the 16th, we have a bunch of Gundam Seed Freedom t-shirts. For 4,730 yen, 31 US, you can get a white t-shirt with either the Destiny Gundam Spec 2 or the Infinite Justice Type 2, or a black t-shirt with the Mighty Strike Freedom's face, the Mighty Strike Freedom in action, the Zagok, or Kira's targeting monitor. And finally on the 23rd, you'll be able to snag these Silver Phantom t-shirts. For another 4,730 yen, 31 US, you can snag a black one with a shiny Delta Zine, shiny Yacht Weiss, regular Delta Zine, or regular Yacht Weiss, or you can choose between a dark gray one and a white one with 2 different Argent Keel emblems. Meanwhile, over at Bunkure, they started with some funny randomized can badges from Witch from Mercury and Gundam Seed Freedom. They go for 550 yen a pop, which is a little under 4 US, and the concept here is that the characters are stuck in a bubble, which is of course represented by the can badge. And it's really cute to see how all of the characters are like responding to being trapped in a bubble because they all react in their own personal way. Characters like Mirine, Nika, the Elans, Lacus, Shin, and Luna Maria are just chilling. Soletta is visibly upset. Kira is just confused. Izak is angry, and Chuchu is trying to break out with her Superman powers. And on Wednesday, pre-orders went live for the Iconic Graphic Design series, which features a stylized design of Solomon, a Bawaku, or the Laplace Colony on a t-shirt for 4,180 yen, 27 US, a hoodie for 7,920 yen, 51 US, or a tote bag for 2,860 yen, 19 US. And all of these items are slated for a January release. And last but not least, we have this Jam homemade Yoshiyuki Tomino wallet. There's no Gundam branding on the wallet itself, but it does come with a Haro coin. And all of this can be yours for a mere 36,300 yen, 236 US. It is available from the Jam Homemade online store or their physical Tokyo location, and it was of course no coincidence that this thing went up for sale on the 5th, which is Tomino's birthday. And as always, let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. In late December, we are getting the Gundam Guys Generation Char Aznable Encounter figure, so Gundam.info wants to know which Char we would love to see as a figure next. A high-fiving Char from the origin, Char dueling with Amuro at the end of OG Gundam, Char at Dakar from Zeta, or Char at Sweetwater from Char's Counterattack. And the results so far are pretty unanimous, with Char's Counterattack Char taking a huge lead over the rest. On Twitter, we do see Char dueling with Amuro getting somewhat close, but overall, the 3 other choices are really just fighting it out for second place. And I can definitely see why. I don't think high-fiving Char has the same impact as the rest. Dakar Char also feels like he has somewhat less of an impact with his, kinda normal business suit that he's wearing. And Char dueling Amuro is basically very similar to a Char figure that we already have. Just replace the beam bazooka with a rapier and voila. Char's counterattack Char, meanwhile, looks fancy, but doesn't have a fancy figure yet. So again, not surprised that it's leading. But if you want to cast your vote, I'll of course have the links down below. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.